You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. It is your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Want to say big ups to everybody again. I appreciate y'all so much for supporting both of my channels. I also have a channel, Mocha's Ladies Lounge, specifically for the ladies, but men, you're welcome to drop by as well. And my co-ed channel here, Mocha's Cafe de Paris. I do content for both men and women. This is more of a neutral type channel here. So on that note, I want to start off by first thanking the Torion for the $8 cash app. I really appreciated the Torion. You always looked out for my channel, and again, I appreciate you for still being a loyal subscriber to my channel since I joined this journey. So again, I want to give a big ups to the Torion and to everyone else who may have been sending me cash apps who I did not see or didn't get a chance to give a shout out to. Again, I want to thank y'all so much. On that note, this is a different type of segment. This segment is advice from Mocha. So normally every once in a while I would get a subscriber, somebody who will reach out to me. They want my opinion about something, whether it's something personal or something in regards to things going on amongst the world. But nevertheless, I am going to read this email because I felt like it's probably plenty of people that's going through this certain type of situation. And you know, normally when I do this type of content, I just respond specifically to the person, but I felt like there's so many other people that's probably going through something similar. And we know whenever it comes to jealousy is a green-eyed monster. It's something that's all of us struggle with to a certain degree. You know, I'm sure at one point in time, everyone has been in a situation in which you felt like other people around you were doing so much better. You felt like other people around you were getting ahead, and you were still struggling. You were stagnant, still in the same spot. So jealousy is normal. We all have been there. We've been jealous of someone at some point in time, and it could be something as simple as somebody on your job got a promotion who haven't been there near as long as you, or there's a family member in your family who seems to always be getting breaks, and here it is, you got to struggle for every goddamn break you get. So all of us deal with jealousy issues in some shape or form, which is normal. But what makes it abnormal is when it gets to the point it starts consuming us every day, to the point we start feeling depressed, we start feeling down on ourselves, we start feeling belittled, and also when we start reflecting so strongly on other people's lives to the point to where we're feeling insignificant about our own. So I know it's not one of those contents that's really juicy and entertaining, but the truth is a lot of people are going through this, and they're too embarrassed to talk about it. You know, they don't want to be judged. They don't want nobody looking at them like, how you a grown-ass man and hating on somebody? How you a grown-ass woman and hating on somebody? Because, you know, people throw that word hating around like it's a bottle of Texas Pete hot sauce at a black people's barbecue. You know, you can't express your feelings without being ridiculed or attacked for it. So I felt it was imperative that I shared this particular situation with everybody, because I think there's so many people that are struggling with this. Out of respect for the person who sent me this, I'm not going to say their email, so I'm going to just give them my own nickname. I'm going to just call him Big Bro. So Big Bro was the one who sent me this email, y'all, and it goes as follows. By the way, before I start reading, if y'all hear a dog barking in the back, that's my dog Blue. He's in the front yard. I don't know what it is. Something about the morning. He loves to bark excessively. And he's not even in the house. But if y'all hear him, my apologies. I cannot get Blue to shut up. He just loves to bark this time of morning. So let's go right into it. So, goes as follows. Hey, Mocha. I was wondering how to get over being jealous of other people and keeping your faith in God whenever things don't go your way. I work with this white dude who lives in a home without a mortgage. He paid his mortgage up front with settlement money from a car accident he was in with his former fiance, who later died from something unrelated. Wow. Now that doesn't mean his life has been perfect. He's been through a lot. In 2006, he graduated from a vocational school, but it was for people with learning disabilities. Back in 2015, on Thanksgiving Day, his fiance, who was his son's mother, passed away before the son was a year old. 4 years later, in August 2019, his own mother passed. And just recently, he found out that he was pre-diabetic. Unfortunately, I could relate to that. He's a really nice guy. He's helpful, and he's always inviting me to go places with him, even coming to his house and play pool. But despite the two of us getting along, I feel so bad about myself when I get around him. How can I get over this jealousy of him? And how can I keep my faith in God that I will have blessings in my life too? First of all, big bro, I appreciate the fact that you even reached out to me, to even confide in me, to share your personal testimony, because I get it, we're in such a judgmental world, and truth is, a lot of us cannot really be transparent as much as we would like to go to people and address certain things that we're going through, because people can use your feelings against you, use your situation against you. So the fact that you chose to come to me, I appreciate that. Also, nevertheless, again, I'm glad that you, for one, came to me to address this, but two, that you are recognizing that this is an issue. So kudos to you for that. It's not enough black men, black women, in my opinion, who, people in general, but me being a black woman, I just could relate to us a little bit better. But people in general, very rarely can we be honest and be transparent and say, I have jealousy issues. I have insecurities about myself. So just the fact that you are willing to even admit to that, that already shows growth. So give yourself brownie points and pat on the back on that one, because it's not too many men who will verbalize that they have jealousy issues. So I really commend you for that. That takes a lot of balls and a lot of courage, because truth be told, I see a lot of jealous men on the internet all the time, and they want to bash and ridicule women or bash and ridicule other men and things of that nature. So you're already on your way to a good start just by recognizing this is an issue. So furthermore, let's go directly into your situation. As I stated, jealousy is normal. This is a common emotion that a lot of men and women, even myself at one point in time, has struggled with or is still currently struggling with. Now, from what you're telling me about this particular guy, seems like he has had to endure some very significant obstacles from what you're telling me. The only thing that I see thus far that you said was pretty positive, as far as this other guy that you're having jealousy issues towards, is that he does live in a home with a mortgage that's paid for. Especially these days, anybody that has anything that's paid for, that's a blessing within itself, because hey, we know that times are so hard. People out here struggling to pay rent. So I could understand to a certain degree if you have jealousy issues towards that, because it's really, really hard just for people to find a place to stay, especially with the rent prices that are going up every day. It seems like he has a comfortable life. He doesn't have the struggle of having to worry about his shelter. Nevertheless, this is the second part you told me. He paid his mortgage up front with settlement money from a car accident he was in with his former fiance, who later died from unrelated. So we're just going to pump the brakes there. But I thought that was interesting that he was able to pay his mortgage up front, but the money he had to do it with and where it came from. I don't know about you, but if I want God to bless me, I will hope and pray that it doesn't take me to lose a loved one in order for me to feel blessed or to become blessed. That's a double-edged sword situation right there. But we're going to go further on. You further said he graduated in 2006 from vocational school, but it was for people with learning disabilities, which lets you know that he did graduate, which is a great thing. That's an accomplishment. But look under the circumstances in which he had graduated. He graduated under the notion that he had a learning disability, which is a challenge within itself. You have to keep in mind that students with learning disabilities, their prerequisite is totally different from average students who don't have those type of learning disabilities. Their curriculum is different, totally different from ours. The type of assistance they get as far as with learning is totally different from ours. And in some cases, it's just a little more easier. I mean, me personally, I remember I had 1 or 2 friends that were special. When we were going to high school together, I noticed the teaching curriculum they were given. And I want to say this respectfully because I know there's a lot of autistic individuals out there in special ed. And, we joke about stuff like this sometimes, but it's really nothing funny about it, about making a mockery out of the word, retarded or special ed or whatever, or autistic. We have to be careful with how we formulate those words because it's a very sensitive matter and it's not a joking matter. But what I've noticed about students who were in these special classes, they were giving work that was pretty easy for us, put it that way. If you gave us that same type of curriculum, we would ace it with flying colors because it was a little bit more simple because it was based on their learning disability. As for if you were to put one of them into a regular class with students that did not have those issues, they would really struggle significantly a lot. And that is why the schools, they design a special class, a special program for special students, because they want to also give them the advantage of being able to be normal and get the normal things, the simple things that other students are not deprived of. All schools basically want students to graduate. So on that note, if there's a student that has a special learning disability, they have to accommodate that student. So keep in mind, he graduated from a vocational school that accommodated him based on his learning disabilities, with his learning, by supplying him with the needs of his learning towards his disability. That was the reason why he was able to successfully graduate. So keep in mind, that's something you might want to consider. Would you want to graduate under that notion, or would you rather struggle, graduate knowing that you didn't have to get a degree based off of a learning disability? Because believe it or not, I don't know how much it has changed, but I know back in the day, back in 98, 99, that degree would show that it was not a regular degree, that it was a learning disability degree. Now, they probably done changed that over the years, so people won't be discriminated against, but it's a possibility now. A lot of these schools are kind of smart. They can tell even when you're transferring or going to college if you got a regular degree or if you got a degree based on your learning disability. And if the degree doesn't show it, I'm sure the transcripts itself show it. So not to knock this individual, because he did graduate, but he graduated due to a struggle that he was accommodated in order to get his education. You get what I'm saying? So, going further, you say 2015, his current fiance around that time, who was the mother of his child, she passed away before their son was 1 year old. Everything you're telling me, this young man has had a lot of trials and tribulations to endure. You further go on and say 4 years later, 2019, his own mother passed. That is really, really rough. I haven't lost my mother yet, by the grace of God, but we've known so many people who have lost a mother or a father, and they would tell you that's one of the most heartbreakingest, gut-wrenching experiences that's very difficult and very challenging to be able to endure. And then he recently found out he was pre-diabetic, which means he's going to have to change his whole eating lifestyle, his diet, and he got to take medication. That's not easy. But you did further go on to say he's a nice person, and he's always been helpful and inviting you to places with him, and you know, y'all get along really well. So that's a blessing within itself that he's willing to share, to build a friendship with you. Some people, they're so busy competing with you instead of trying to build a friendship with you that they're not really open to letting you in on their world. I mean, evidently for you to know all of these things about him, he's really comfortable with you. He's letting his guard down. He's telling you everything that he's going through. So I can respect that versus a person who tries to act like they're better than everyone, and they try to only want to be open about their success, but they low-key downplay their failures. They never share any of the negative experiences with you or the challenging experiences with you. They only want you to know all of the great and wonderful things that are going on in their life. That's real. That's what you call as a real friend. A person that's willing to open up to you about all of their losses, all of their tragedies. This young man has been through a lot from what you're telling me, big bro. And on that note, it's a saying that I've heard a couple of pastors say this a couple of times. People want what you got. Or you may want what I got, but are you willing to go through what I had to go through to get it? And it sounds like to me, if you could really ask yourself, big bro, really ask yourself this. And you don't have to answer this in a comment. You can hit me up in the email if you're not comfortable with putting yourself out there. If you had to trade shoes with him, would you really be able to endure all of that? I mean, granted, his house is paid for, but look at what had to happen. Is that the trade-off you would want? Would you want to be blessed with something, but it took you losing someone special to you to get it? And believe me, I know a lot of people around here who balling out, and a lot of them are balling out because there was an inheritance left behind. A mother died, a father died, a child died. It's a saying, you can. It's never good to really be hating on anyone. Not saying I train on anyone, because you don't know what they're going through, what they had to go through to get it, and what they're going through to keep it. And it's a lot of people. I know some people right now balling out of control, but at the same time, they didn't run into no big money until somebody died. I know women who have big inheritance left behind, but look what they had to lose. Vanessa Bryant is a prime example. Kobe Bryant's wife. Now, we already knew she was a millionaire during Kobe Bryant's during his life before he actually passed away, but the fact that she's getting so much more millions now and it all belongs to her, look at the trade-off. It took her losing her husband in a fatal, tragic helicopter crash for her to have access over all of his millions. And yes, even though she's left with all the cars, she's left with the house, she's left with, look what she had to lose. She had to lose her husband and her daughter. And I'm quite sure if she had a choice in the matter to keep her family or to keep those millions, I guarantee you she would have rather kept her family. Money is not everything until you get in it, until you realize you get in a situation money can't fix. Because the truth of the matter is, Kobe, her husband, is never coming back. Rest in peace to him. Gianna, little Gigi, is never coming back. And Vanessa has to live with that for the rest of her life. Even with all her millions, it's never going to be the same for her. She's never going to want to date no time soon. And she gained a lot, but she lost a lot. She has to be careful of who she involves in her life, because it may be people that are guys who may try to talk to her, try to deal with her, to capitalize off of her and Kobe's money. She has to be even more careful now than she's ever been, because people know her worth through Kobe's passing. And that's the same thing for this guy. Look what he had to lose in order to gain. It's a trade-off. Then to turn around and get blessed and get another fiance, another second woman who he didn't get a chance to walk down the aisle, and she passed away before their son was 1 year old. So he's a single father. Now he's still grieving from the first loss. Now he has a second loss. Do you see everything now? Do you see how heavy the burdens is in this man's life? Then his mother passed away 2019. All of these important women who meant the world to him, he has lost them all. His son doesn't have a grandmother or mother. There's no woman to guide him or to be there for him. He's practically on his own. Now he's pre-diabetic, so he definitely got to take care of himself for the sake of his son, because his son is depending on him. Big bro, are you connecting the dots? Are you putting everything together? And who's to say this is why he gravitates towards you? This man may need your friendship more than you may feel intimidated by his success, or what you feel is considered as success. You'll be surprised. You may need one thing, but this guy may need something much more than you could ever imagine. So the question basically lies, how can you get over jealousy in him and keep your faith in God? First of all, realize that God has his own plans for each and every one of us individually. We don't get to pick and choose how, when, where God chooses to bless us. First of all, God knows all of our strengths and weaknesses. See, a lot of people want what other people have, but a lot of people aren't built to go through what they got to go through to get it. My thing is, if you were in his shoes, you probably would not have been able to handle half. You probably wouldn't have been able to sustain or endure half of what this man has had to endure. And that doesn't make you less of a person. It just states that God knows exactly where to test you and how to bless you. God is not going to put no more on us than we can bear. He's not going to put you in a situation in which he knows can mentally distraught you or push you all the way to the edge. What this young man has gone through, a lot of people would have given up. A lot of people would have tried to take their own lives. A lot of people would have been drinking themselves to death. That was his personal trial and tribulation that God gave him. And God is giving you your own trials and tribulations as well. So how you can keep your faith in God is by knowing that despite what you feel you have not accomplished, despite you dealing with your own personal emotions, feeling like you haven't accomplished much, you haven't gotten as far ahead as you would have hoped to be, keeping your faith is knowing that at the end of the day, God knows what's best for you in your life. Because guarantee, you'll be surprised. There's things you have in your life that he probably wish he had in his life. You'll be surprised how you may envy certain people, and then those same people got certain things that they envy about you. If you still have your mom, I'm sure there's emotions this guy probably has to deal with knowing you have your mother and he doesn't. Knowing that you possibly have a woman in your life or whatever the case is, or maybe you don't, I'm not sure. But I'm sure this young man has some deep struggles, and evidently he does. Everything you're telling me here with him, all the situations he has gone through, do you not realize that maybe he deserves it? It's not always the situation, it's how you look at it. Do you not realize that he possibly deserves? He deserves his blessings. Look at what all he has gone through. It's the saying goes, you may know my glory, but you don't know my story. The stuff I had to go through to get it. In a sense, truth be told, this young man, he deserves to be blessed, because look at all of what he done had to go through. And you're blessed in your own way, whether you believe it or not. I don't know. I'll say this much. A lot of people, we have being blessed defined in so many different things. A lot of us think being blessed means having money. A lot of us think being blessed means having a job. A lot of us feel like being blessed means having expensive cars and designer labels. Just the fact that you was able to wake up and be in your right mind this morning, that's a blessing within itself. You got some millionaires out there, big homes, several cars and all of that, who don't even have their own mind. Somebody else has to take over their assets, handle their bills, take over their account, and this gives them the huge potential of being used and taken advantage of. The fact that you're still in your right mind, that nobody has to take you to the bathroom, that nobody has to feed you, the fact that you're still able to walk, talk, and breathe, that's a blessing within itself. Blessings is just being alive. If somebody who did not wake up this morning, if somebody who's probably not going to live, this may be their very last day. They don't know it. They think today going to be a regular day. They get up, drink their coffee, go to work, thinking it's going to be a regular day, not knowing this is going to be the day the Lord calls them home. So you are blessed in your own way, big bro. And your blessings, never compare and contrast your blessings to somebody else's blessings. What's for them is for them. What's for you is for you. And we are living in those times. Jealousy is very dangerous. Jealousy was getting a lot of people's lives taken, because people feel like they so much ain't got nothing that anytime they encounter somebody who has a little bit more than them, they want to rob, they want to steal, they just want to take them out, just because they hate the fact to see them happy, And I'm not saying this is the case with you. I know I'm being far-fetched, but I'm just saying in general. Like when you look at young Dolph, those young men who robbed him, when the man was just enjoying his life, enjoying his success, went to go get some cookies. Who would have thought him getting some cookies would have been the demise of him being taken away from his fiancée and his 2 children? Jealousy is very dangerous. Jealousy will make people take you out. Same thing with Extension. Same thing with Pop Smoke. Jealousy is cancer to the black community. Jealousy is killing us more than drugs, more than AIDS, more than any disease out here. Jealousy is the biggest, is the number one killer. People just cannot stand to see other people have something. But I will say this too, at the same time, those who have, and I'm not saying that's the case with the young men who lives was taken by jealousy and envy and violence, but those who have, at the same time, they have no compassion for those who do not. They like to stunt and flex in front of people who they know are struggling. Even your own family members, those who are well off, who know they can do a little bit more to help you, not enable you, meaning give you so much to where you become sorry and you don't man up or woman up and do your part, but they will sit there knowing you don't have running water in your household because you're struggling or you falling on some hard times and won't even offer you a cup of water. That's another thing, those who are really well off, you got to be careful how you flaunt your success in front of people who are struggling, because everybody's not going to sit there and rejoice in it and wait for God to bless them. They're going to try to bless themselves, and if it means taking you out or coming after you to rob you, whatever, to get that instant results, they'll do that. So you have to be very mindful on whatever in you own, whether if you're the person that has so much that people become jealous of you, or either you become so jealous of a person who has so much. You have to be careful, because the enemy knows our weaknesses. He knows when and where. He knows how to put certain people in your face, and people unintentionally don't even know they're rubbing things in. The enemy just knows how to set things up and put people in your face at the right time, at the right place, when you're already vulnerable and you're in a soft spot in your life. He knows how to mentally and emotionally antagonize you by putting people in your space that's doing a little bit better, that's not struggling on the same level. He knows how to do that. But the thing about it, he is struggling. He may not be struggling with his mortgage, but look at all of the other things he has to struggle with and still be a father. So realize that's probably why this man is so helpful to you and always inviting you places with him, because even though his house is paid for, that's not enough to keep him comforted, to make him find happiness. His happiness, probably one of the things that bring him happiness, is his friendship with you. And guess what? There's nothing wrong with being transparent, without putting yourself on blast. Man, just seems like you're doing really well. You got this, you got that. I'm happy for you that you was able to still do so well after all that you've been through. You'll be surprised how he'll respond and tell you, man, yeah, I appreciate the advice, but I appreciate the compliment, but it still is not easy. I'm still struggling. I'm still grieving over the loss of both of my fiancés and my mother. I got to rechange my lifestyle and my eating habits because I've been diagnosed as pre-diabetic. You'll be surprised. The people you are proud of, they're not even proud of their own self like that. The people that you look up to and think that they're doing so well, you'll be surprised if y'all have a basic conversation over some lunch. You'll be surprised he not near as excited about the things he has accomplished as you are for him. You get what I'm saying? So everything that looks glitter ain't always gold. And I personally just think, you're just going through a moment. So sometimes, depending on what you're going through, you can feel so down, and everybody else can look like they so up. Everybody could look like they so far ahead, and you can feel like you so far behind. Not only that, you got your own mission. You got your own things you have to accomplish. I'm sure it's things in your life you got to work on. You probably want to start a business. You probably want to get into a new hobby. You probably want to find a better job that's paying more or something like that. You have your own goals. You have your own things that you want to accomplish. So in the meantime, focus on you and focus on the things that make you happy. Because listen, you don't have to find happiness in big things. I just find happiness in being by myself. I find happiness in having peace, that nobody is bothering me and making my life difficult. It's so many things to be blessed for. Listen, if nobody's bringing drama in your life, that is a blessing. You can talk to your mama, your grandmama, your daddy. That's a blessing. Somebody ain't got no parents that they could talk to. You got a brother or a sister. You got a job where you making some decent money, where you could travel here and there. You could treat yourself to a nice hot meal. You got to find happiness in the little things. You don't have to be a millionaire to find happiness. We've seen many millionaires commit suicide. We've seen many millionaires divorced. We've seen many millionaires get exposed for a drug overdose or alcoholism. Everybody has their own demons that they are trying to conquer. So I think again, you have to realize God has and is in the blessing business. He's blessing you. You're just so asphyxiated on looking at what the other person has that you're not even looking at how God is blessing you. And that's every day. Listen, every day somebody wants something somebody has. Down to simple things. A woman could be getting her nails done and go to the mall somewhere and another woman see her nails. Oh, your nails are so pretty. Who did your nails? I want my nails done like that. She already wants something I have. Let's say you notice, I give her the information where to go. She going to that same person to get her nails done like mine was done. We all have something that somebody else wants. It's women who can't have children who envy other women who do have children. The women who do have children wish they had the room to be by themselves like the women who don't have children. Yes, kids are a blessing. But sometimes a blessing is when you don't have to look out for nobody but yourself. But once you're a mother, you can't throw those kids away. You got to learn to find joy in being a mother. If you're a woman struggling with fertility issues, you learn that, okay, this is my situation. I cannot have children. So I will find joy into being there for other people's children. Maybe I'll adopt one of my own. Maybe I'll mentor other people's children. I'll get my nieces and nephews. Guarantee you, once they have been around children for a while, they'll be, in some cases, they'll be relieved. Like, you know what, Lord, I thought I was feeling bad because I couldn't have children, but being with children and spending time with them made me realize it's a lot of work. It's not easy, you know. And you have children, women who this is just an example, who have children, and they get frustrated sometimes with when they go through hardships with being a mother, and they just rather just walk away from it, but they can't. So they learn to find joy in being a mother. If that means spending time with the kids, taking the kids places, traveling with them, finding ways to enjoy being a mother. You have to enjoy where you are in life. Enjoy the fact that you're able to breathe, to live, to walk to the park, do little things for yourself that puts you in a good mood. You know, find your own little niche. Maybe there's a certain sports, maybe certain hobbies you're into. You know, just start putting your focus. and doing your own thing, and you won't be so asphyxiated with what other people have and what other people don't have. But jealousy is normal, big bro. Don't beat yourself up. A lot of men and women have jealousy issues. Just some of us display it in different ways. We display it by trying to join in. If it's the saying, you can't beat them, join them. Some people conquer jealousy like that. If they want to be like someone else, they'll join them, learn the ropes till they figure out what it took for that person to get to where they are. Then they start doing it. So you can also capitalize off of your jealousy. Instead of being intimidated, be inspired. You know what I mean? Man, how'd you get that done, man? What kind of mortgage program you this and that, blah. You'll be surprised. Sometimes if we ask for help instead of hating, you'll be surprised how the blessings will overflow. You know what I mean? That person could be a blessing to you. You know what I mean? We be hating on folks that could be a blessing to us. You know what I mean? You just never know, you know, how God can open doors for you through the same people that you despise, don't like, or hating on, or jealous of. Because I don't like that word hating. It sounds so negative, but that's the word people use. But anyway, yeah, you can't beat them, join them. Learn some of the ropes to the people you hating on, or people you got jealousy issues with. There's some of them you'll be surprised. They got the right kind of heart. They'll bring you on board. Yeah, man, I'll be glad to show you. Come on and stop by. I'll be glad to help you. I've been dealing with this banker for 20, 30 years. Maybe I can help you and get you put in the door. You never know. A lot of people could be so much further ahead if they didn't let jealousy rear its ugly head. That's a good one. That's one way to conquer jealousy. And definitely ain't nothing wrong with going into prayer about it. Nothing wrong with, God, I'm struggling with prayer, with jealousy issues. I know you're blessing me. I know you've been providing for me. But at the same time, I'm feeling a little down about myself. I'm feeling a little discouraged. God, show me. Manifest to me my own blessings, so I won't be so focused on what other people have around me. Show me how to use my gift. Show me how to use, Lord, let me know what my purpose is in life, so I can start fulfilling and working on my own purpose instead of looking at everybody else who I feel has found their purpose. Lord, help me to find my purpose. Give me guidance. Give me direction on the next blessing you have in store for me. Nothing wrong with asking God that. Because one thing about God, whatever you share with him, he ain't going to run his mouth and tell other people. He not going to ridicule you and make you feel bad. It's very imperative that all of us have a connection with God. Because in this day and age, it's going to get worse, y'all. You know, these rent is skyrocketing. The expenses are pushing people on the edge. People are struggling. People gonna be doing more and more stuff. They're gonna have more and more to start being jealous of and hating on, because people are struggling. And guess what? The funny part I found out is, why you jealous of somebody, it's somebody jealous of you. Somebody wishing they had what you had, and you wouldn't even know it, because in your eyes, your situation ain't all of that. But somebody else will get in your situation and they will body it. They will body it. What you complaining about, what you feel ain't enough, it's somebody else who will be in your shoes and they will body it. They will make it happen if they had what you had. So it go both ways. Just like you got people that you may be jealous of, trust and believe, there's people out here who low-key hating on you. And you ain't got to have money. Listen, you ain't got to have money for people to hate on you. Your personality makes people jealous of you. The way you make things happen, your determination, your tenacity. Just the fact that you have that kind of aura that draws people to you. You likable. Everybody ain't got to hate on you because you wear designer labels and you look good. People can hate on you just because you're the kind of person you don't let shit bother you. You think people don't hate that? Who should he think he is? He just lost his house and lost his car and he's still around here smiling. Who she thinks she is? She lost her job. How she gonna pay her bills? She's still around here smiling and shopping in them stores like she got it like that. People be hating on the fact that you don't even let shit break you. People hate that. People want to see you crumble and fold under pressure. So there's so many ways people could be hating on you. You get what I'm saying? Other than what you have financially. But big bro, I appreciate you for reaching out to me. Again, you know, I'm glad you acknowledged it, because that's growth. That means you know this is a problem. This is something I got to work on. Take it one day at a time. Don't try to overcome it overnight. Some habits take a while to break. Take your time, little by little. Learn to enjoy his friendship instead of looking at what you think he has and what you don't have. You know, and if you not really mature enough to get to that point, ain't nothing wrong with backing off of him for a while, backing off from the friendship for a while, till you get to that place to where you have gained your strength, in which you not hating, but you learn to congratulate. You get what I'm saying? Not wrong with backing up and saying, you know, I had a friend who couldn't have kids. She stopped going to baby showers because that's what made her comfortable. Because she didn't want her negative energy to rub off on the people who was happy. So you got to know you, because people can sense, no matter how much you play it off, when you having jealousy issues or you threaten or you intimidated. So until you got that spirit in check, kind of back down a little bit until you know you have mastered that, because it's going to come out sooner than later. You know, little insults, smart remarks, and you know, you human, and sometimes your jealousy has a way of making you be a person you don't want to be. So make sure you master that, so you don't cause your friendship, the friendship that y'all do have, to be tainted. So nothing wrong with working on those issues, you know what I mean? Take it one day at a time. Thank God for your blessings. And life ain't over yet. You don't know how God gonna open doors for you. Life ain't over yet. That same man that you jealous of may end up having to be there for you. You never ever know. We got to be mindful and careful with how we let our emotions block our blessings. This man is your friend. Be his friend. Or if you know you got insecurity, or you really got strong jealousy issues, then do yourself a favor by backing off, and do him a favor by not being around him. You know, because very dangerous to have a jealous person around you. I just found out that recently myself. Person who been in my company the whole time was feeling some type of way. I never knew till that person got mad. You get what I'm saying? So don't wait for something ugly to happen and then the real you comes out in y'all friendship. And then he finds out all along you had a problem with him. So we're going to defeat that. We're going to kill the enemy of jealousy and envy. We're going to rebuke that spirit and learn to be happy and learn to be grateful with where the Lord has us, because it could always get worse. And I'm telling you, things are getting worse. Be grateful where you are. And for all of you other than Big Bro who has this issue, learn to be grateful. Ask for God to help you to be content where you are. If you are struggling with jealousy issues, ask God to show you your blessings, or ask God to show you your divine purpose. So anyway, y'all, any other advice we can give to Big Bro in the comment, please do that. Please be generous. Don't come in the comment, why is you hating on somebody and this and that. Look, the man was being honest. He being transparent. This is a place to heal, not hurt or attack. We're trying to build people. We're trying to build and heal people. This is the season of building and healing, not destroying other people because they are struggling with issues. Because a lot of y'all be doing that in the black community. Nobody can keep it real. Nobody could be transparent, because y'all like to tear people down when they say, I got jealousy issues, or I got money issues. I can't handle money. I stay broke. How many black men and women willing to admit stuff like that? Not many. So those who are, let's give them the benefit of a doubt. Please only bring your positive energy into the comment section. If y'all have anything else to add as far as that advice that I probably didn't touch upon or didn't speak upon? Because people be really needing therapy. People be looking for encouragement. So we don't have to tear each other down. The world is doing a fine, perfect job of doing that well enough. So anyway, y'all, leave y'all comment below. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Those who like to seek advice from Mocha, you know my email, and if you so will so kindly, there's nothing wrong with leaving a little $5 cash app for advice. $5, $10, anything helps, because I don't mind giving my time, you know, but at the same time, it's a blessing to me if you can bless me as well as I'm being a blessing to you. So if you don't mind, you know, put a little change, you know, or whatever to help on my channel out a little bit. I'm trying to start a book. That would really be helpful as well. And if you just can't do it, you just can't do it. I'll still do my best to help you to the best of my ability. But y'all stay blessed. It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris. I'll be talking to y'all soon. Be blessed, y'all.